Hello everyone, I'm Tammy and this is Creative Girl Vintage. Welcome to my craft room today. Don't you guys just love fall? Oh my gosh, I certainly do. It's like my favorite season of all time. And I wanted to share with you one of my new creations. And this project is going to start simply with a little jewel box. These are available in my Etsy shop. So at the end of this video, you can go over and grab one. The link is below. And this is what we're going to be making today. Aren't those so sweet? So without further ado, let's get to work. The first thing we're going to do is prepare our jewel box. And I started out by painting it, and I used Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint, and the color was Monarch. Feel inspired to use whatever color you have, whatever you love. I wanted to give you a little tip on painting these little boxes. I like to hold them on the front and the back. I painted this ahead of time just to save the mess. And we'll paint the sides all the way around. And be mindful not to be globby, and just kind of keep an even coat going all the way around. Set the box down, preferably on a paper plate or a protective surface. Paint your top, let it dry, flip it, paint your bottom, let it dry, and repeat. So 2 coats for these boxes is usually all you'll need, and they'll come out really pretty. And every time I do it, I paint them shut. So I'm like, oh, I can't get it open. So grab a tweezer, or here's a little X-Acto knife, which I just kind of tuck inside there, and it should just pop right open for you, and it'll be ready to go. These little boxes have a little satin in the top, and in the bottom they have a little piece of white cardboard. And this cardboard is loose in here. So what I do, I just grab my little tweezer and pull it out. Take my hot glue and just put a little glue in there just to hold it down. We're going to pop it right back in and push it down. So pretty much, I mean, this is just the bottom of the box here. Nobody's going to see it, but you'll know that it's all nice and neat, and it's a good strong surface in there, ready to go. Okay, continuing to prepare our box, I'm going to use, this is a little fall ribbon. I'm sure I got it at the craft store last year. Since this is 2020, just about everything I'm using today is something I got last year, because we can't just go out and buy whatever we want right now. So I'm just going to take a little bit of hot glue, and I'm going to put this along the top of the lid. I've made a lot of these boxes, and I've used everything from lace to pom-pom trim, to the jewel chain. So, you know, the sky's the limit. Whatever you've got, or whatever interests you, you could always use to decorate the outside of these boxes. So there you go. So that's just a little trim there on top. That looks nice. And I also have just a little scrap here of lace, which I thought would be pretty, just right in the back on that satin, just to add another little layer. So I'll just take my hot glue, put a little in there, and there we go. Our box is now ready to fill. Okay, now this is the fun part. We're going to fill our box. I like to have some sort of filler in the bottom when I'm doing this. So this is something I pulled out today. This is, I think this is called like Celsior, something like that. It's a really fine shaved, kind of like wood, it feels like. It's really pliable. So you can just roll it up like in a ball and flatten it out a little bit, and it makes almost like a little nest we can put in the bottom of our jewel box. This is easy to find at any craft store. So we'll pop that in there, and see, that looks pretty cute. It's like a start right there. So let's grab our hot glue and just pop this right in. Okay. All right, next, you know what, I'm going to just put a little a little bit more in here. The bottom will want to stick, but just because it's like so thick. There we go. That's not going anywhere. All right. So I've got this really cute, found it last year. It was one of those things that I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I thought it would be something good for my stash, and I was right. So it was a wire, like a little garland with these little autumn leaves. I'm just going to take and snip off a few inches of that. And we'll just take that and glue it in right there. So I'll just add a little hot glue to the back here and pretty much just press that right in there. Okay, get the strings off. All right, now this is a little velvet pumpkin, and last year in the when the fall decorations came out at I think it was at Michael's, this was back with the plant picks. So this had like a long piece on it to, you know, to pop in a flower arrangement. So you can just cut that off if you want, bend it over. I cut the bulk of it off, and there you have a perfect little velvet pumpkin. And we're going to just add that to our jewel box. See how quick and easy this goes together, especially when you gather everything up and you know what you want to add. Kind of put it together first in a little dry run and see how it all looks before you commit to the glue. All right, that's looking pretty, isn't it? All right, now this is my little box of vintage birds. I love crafting with vintage materials. If you watch any of my videos, you know I always prefer the vintage. But if you don't have little vintage birds, this was a little craft store bird. Isn't he cute? I mean, works perfectly good. This is a little vintage one. He had the orange on his back, and I really thought he was sweet, so I was going to use him today. I'm going to add a little bit of glue to my pumpkin. And I'm just going to pop him on right there. It's cute. He's got those little eyes. All right. Now, I'm going to use the same ribbon that we used for the trim of the lid. And let's tie a nice little bow. There we go. I'm going to take my bow and add it right there on the corner. Just put a little dot of glue there and stick it right on. Okay, looks cute. Going to add, look at these gorgeous little velvet flowers. This is 32 Degrees North on Etsy. Link is below. My last video, Halloween decoration video I used these little flowers. Today I'm going to just snip off the stems and I'm going to glue them onto our bow. All right, let's do that. My little granddaughter Aubrey, you know, my little crafting sidekick, she just celebrated her 7th birthday, and her birthday guests were her cousins, Christopher and Maddie and Emmy, and they asked me if I would do a crafting video. Now, these kids, they're my biggest fans. So I did, and we had a wonderful time. And Christopher asked me, he said, "You're always using your hot glue. How do you keep from burning yourself?" And I said, "Christopher, let me tell you a little secret. I burn myself all the time." Always burning myself. I prefer to use hot glue for just about everything that I do. All right, see how sweet this is coming along and how quick too. Okay, let's add, these are a few of my little rubber stamps. I think I got this last year at the craft store when they put the seasonal stuff out. You never know what they're going to put out. this was a good little find. So I'm going to take this piece of cardstock, and it was a dark cardstock to begin with, but it is coffee dyed as well. Just makes the paper so nice and crunchy. Just going to ink it up here. Just using a black, just a little black ink I always use. Stamp on Hello Fall, and let's cut it out. Okay. This is pretty easy. Making our little sign. And sometimes I just do a little snip on the corners. Gives it a little finished look. So let's take and put this little sign right on the front of our pumpkin. So I'll just put a little dot of glue right there and pop that right on. Okay, we have one last thing. We've got to add a little frost to this pumpkin. So let me get out my Mod Podge. Let's add a little bit of that to the top of our pumpkin. The glue strings. That is one thing about the hot glue. You get the glue strings. Got a little bit of clear sparkly glitter for our frost. We'll put it over the top. And there you go. This is one that I did with a white pumpkin. So there's the two of them there. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you for crafting with me today. And if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more, please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video. So keep up that creative spirit, my friends. Bye for now.